Well, hello my friends and welcome to Ziggy Air. Today we are in Boston, Massachusetts in the A319 and we're going to review the Airbus's electrical system. And this will be applicable to all the Fenix Airbus products, the 319, the 320 and the 321. As it is in real life, the Airbuses are very similar in their systems and how they fly. As a matter of fact, if you're a pilot and you're type rated in the A320, you are also type rated in the A319 and the A321. So here we are on a cold and dark state here on the A319. So let me go in here into the overhead panel view, and we're gonna get close here into the electrical panel over here, which is right over here, and we have the battery and battery 1 and battery 2, and then we have our buses, AC buses and DC buses, generators and the APU generator and all that. It's available to us here, and it's just it. So the Airbus is really very efficient in the layout, so you will find everything here. That's all you need for the electrical panel. Right now, since we are at the airport, we know that we have external power available. So the batteries here are very important because in case of an electrical failure, the batteries will serve as the backup for the aircraft. And however, they do have a limited amount of juice that they can power those basic electrical systems. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we check the electrical system here on the batteries. And we want to make sure that both batteries, 1 and 2, have the minimum amount of voltage necessary to get us started. In each battery, to start the APU, you need a minimum of 25.5 volts. Alright, so as we can see, we have enough juice here on each of these batteries. In case I didn't have external power, I will have enough juice available in the batteries here to get the APU started. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to push battery number 1 here. And as soon as we do that, then battery number 2 lights up in terms, and it's telling us that battery number 2 is off. So what we need to do is to make sure that both are providing juice for what we need to do is, so we're going to press that and we're going to get our systems going here. Alright, so things are starting to come to life here. Let's get onto the correct view here. And we see some of the systems have powered on. So the batteries are gonna run, like I said, some minimal systems here, including emergency lights here. Some of the lights will be available with the battery. The overhead light will be available on the FO side. So now we need to give it a little bit more power, or more power available to get everything going. Since we have external power available, we're going to tap into that, and when I do that, a lot of the things start to come to life. So those screens are going to turn on, and they may need a little bit of time to power up and go through their cycles, but everything else will be available to us here. The MCDU, both of them get started, and then all of these systems will go through a self-test to get the airplane ready. Alright, so the Airbus works out of a bus tie system, and basically the bus tie system is what connects all of the electrical systems around the Airbus together, and it will connect and it will prioritize the type of power source that you have available. Right now we have external power available, but we also have the APU that we can make available as a power source. And like I said before, we also have the batteries, which will be a backup and will be the lowest in the priority. We also have generators on each of the engines. In terms of the priority system, when we have the engines going, the generator for those engines take priority in terms of the electrical systems. And then if that's not available, then the external power, if available, if not, the APU. All right, so let's take a look at the electrical panel here on the ECAM. So if you come down here on the panel, on the ECAM panel over here, and we go to electrical and we select that, we'll see that on this screen over here, we have a representation of our electrical system. And right now we have our external power available, and the APU is not on, so it's not available here. It would show up over here once we get it started. And then we have our generator 1 from engine 1 and our generator 2 from engine 2. Alright, so here we have the external power that's coming into the bus, and it goes to the AC1 and AC2, and then it goes into the TRs. Comes out of the electrical system. The external electrical power is 115 volts, and then on the TRs gets converted into DC power, and that's what the TRs do. Alright, this is a better view here. So right now we're using external power. External power will take priority over anything else. So if we had the APUs running right now, and we're going to get it started in a minute, then external power will be used rather than the APU, just to be able to save APU, save the generator, save fuel and all that. So external power, you can say that external power has the priority when it's available. Alright, so let's start the APU and see what happens when that when we do that. So APU, let's get the master switch going here, and then we can click on start. Usually you would press and hold for 3 seconds, but since this is a simulator, we just click on it, and once it's all started, if we go back down here and if we change this to APU, we can take a look at the APU. The flap is open and the NG is rising. The EGT is also rising, and once it's stabilized, it will show available to us on the panel. Alright, I think it looks good right now. It should be about 100%, and once that is reached, then the APU generator, it's available. So it's available, and we can then switch between them. But since electrical systems, the external power takes priority, so we would have to shut off the external power, so the APU then takes over. So let's do that right now. Let's go ahead and external power, and we'll just click it off, and we can see now that the APU has taken over. It does it automatically. It just very quickly, since it was available, it just then goes ahead and powers both the AC1 and the AC2, and then that goes into charging the batteries. Alright, so what will happen if then we make we start the engines and make the generators 1 and 2 available? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's switch to APU power, and we have our APU bleed is on, so we can get our engine started here. So let's do that and switch the mode to engine start, and let's start engine 2. Alright, so now that we have both engines available here, and the reason it's giving me all this stuff is because I haven't gone through the whole startup procedure here. We're just focusing right now on the electrical system. So now that both, I'm just gonna change this back to normal mode. And now you can see over here that once the engines have started and the generator started producing electricity, then the engines take these generators take priority. So even though we have the APU and external power available, the generators take priority in producing our electricity here, right? All right, so what will happen if I go up here to the overhead panel and then switch off generator 2. Gonna switch it off here, and we go down here, and then what we can see is that Gen 2 is off, okay, and Gen 1 is powering this side of the aircraft with battery number 1 and the TR number 1 on this side of the aircraft. And then since Gen 2 is off, then the APU takes over. So the bus tie system keeps an eye on all of the systems and power sources and makes sure that it is powering according to the priority set up here for the Airbus and what's available. So let's say if we go ahead and then come in and then switch off the generator number 1, then as you can see, then the APU takes over here, and it powers both sides of the aircraft. But since we have external power available and we want to keep our APU, we want to save some wear and tear on the APU, we switch into external power, and then now external power is taking over and powering both sides of the aircraft. However, what if I go ahead and then come in and then switch generator 1 on? So as you can see, then generator 1 takes priority and takes over from external power and then powers the side of the aircraft, and then external power keeps the power on for the other side. So if I switch switch generator 2 on, then as you can see, both engine generators take over and power the aircraft based on the priority system, right? All right, so what will happen if I switch off generator 1? Okay, so we have the APU, we have the external power, we hit switch it off, and let's see what happens. External power is on, APU is on, we switch off generator 1, and the bus tie system goes ahead and, based on the priority, it doesn't go to APU, it goes to the external power to power the other side of the aircraft when generator 1 is off. Okay, right? So what happens if we switch off the external power? Then the APU takes over for this side of the aircraft, the generator 1 side of the aircraft and battery number 1. Okay, all right, so let's switch back the generator 1, and we have it as the aircraft likes it. It likes it when you are powering the aircraft with both the engine generators here. All right, so let's say we are ready to take off or whatever. Let's say we switched off our external power, and then we turn off our APU, turn off the bleed, and then we're going to kill it here with the master switch. All right, So it will take a little while for the APU to power off. So alright, so the APU after takes about 2 minutes or so. So I kind of cut this off a little bit. So it starts to power down, and then we don't have any power available from it. And if we go back to the electrical system page here, we see that the APU is no longer available. We still have external power available, but we don't have the APU. If I switch the external power off, if I kill it, so let's say we are disconnected. Let's go back here in ground services, and we take that off. So that no longer is available here. The APU is not available. But then, for some reason, we switch off Gen 1. Then, generator 2, I'm sorry, then generator 2 from engine 2 then takes over for both of them, and then starts powering both systems. Now there's also RAM Air, which is not available here, so if we deploy RAM Air, that will be available too, just in case generator 2 fails. Okay, so there you are, my friends. Let's switch back generator 1 on, and then now the aircraft is happy and we're not putting too much stress on those generators. So there you have it. That is the electrical system in a nutshell for the Airbus family, the Fenix family of Airbuses, the 320, the 319, and the 321. All right, leave me a comment down below if you have any questions about this, and if you liked what you saw, if you got some information and good information about this, and you learned something from it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. We have all kinds of videos. Here at Ziggy Air, we have instructional videos once in a while, and we have some fun videos, and also Ziggy would like me to go ahead and plug in her favorite cause here, which is if you're looking for a good co-pilot to keep you company on your flights, go ahead and save a life. Go ahead into your local shelter and find your perfect co-pilot there. So my friends, remember, Ziggy Air will get you there. Ziggy Air is best in the air. I don't make this stuff up. I'm only told what to say. So I'll see you in the next one.